All right, all right. Y'all already know what time it is. It is 8:30 p.m. on Monday. It is time for the Men's Mental Health Podcast, or the Mental Health Podcast. So, I hope everybody had a great weekend. I hope everybody had a great remainder of your last week. I hope everybody's been prioritizing their mental health and taking care of themselves and making sure that they're doing the things that they need to do to keep on moving. So, today we have a very special guest, a good buddy of mine, somebody who I've rapped with, I've smoked with, I've gamed with, you know what I mean? A really cool cat from way back in the day. Some might know him as Million Dollar Baby. Others know him as Mainstream. My boy Matt, please help me welcome him to the stage, to the Mental Health Podcast. My guy, my guy.
Yo, what's going on, man?
What is happening, big dog?
Oh, beautiful intro, man. Beautiful intro, bro.
You like that? That was off the cuff too, big dog. That
Yo,
was, you know what I mean? That was we were flying by the seat of our pants at this point. You know what I'm saying?
what's going on, man?
Nothing, dude. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you were able to make it. I appreciate you for carving out this little block for us, to kind of do this show, man. Thank you.
Yo, I was nervous at first. I was like, oh, shit, man. I'm not gonna lie. Yo, I see you drinking Dr. Pepper. Yo, Diet Coke. Yo, Diet Coke.
Yo, cherry Dr. Pepper. All right.
Okay.
Cherry Dr. Pepper. No, this shit is gas. Um, I learned of it like fucking when I was in high school. All right. And that was like, it was hit or miss on where you could buy it, and like it wasn't readily available everywhere, you know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
it just like fell off the face of the fucking planet, and I was real confused. And then like 10 years later, I go down to Georgia on a trip with my family to go visit my parents. Bro, we hit the Walmart there. They had this shit by the aisle. I'm like, yo, same word. I snatched up 4 cases, big dog.
Bro. Uh, so you already know, man. I don't even want to get started, but I might as well get started now. So
Yeah,
so
let's
I used
get
to weigh
into it. Let's get
260
into it.
pounds,
Hell
bro.
yeah.
They used to call me, I used to have 4 chins. My neck was out to here. I look like Incredible Hulk, but the fat version, like all fat, no muscle. You know what I mean?
Damn.
So
Yo, I remember those days. I remember.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
You're at what now? Like 165, 167, something like that?
175.
175. Yeah, man. You've been killing it. And that intermittent fasting, I've been like, dabbling in it every now and again, and everybody's like, it's just fucking really bad for you. Man, get
Yeah.
fucked, bro. Like, honestly, since I got this new job over at BMW, I haven't really slowed. I don't slow down during the day. You know what I mean? Every now and
Yeah.
again, I'll have a slow day, but I don't slow down. So like, I don't really take a lunch. I don't take that break. You know what I mean? So like, I just fast during the day. I have myself a nice little meal when I come home, and then like, I'm good, bro. I'm down almost 30 pounds since fucking August.
Nice. Congrats.
Yeah, dude. And I haven't changed anything. You know what I mean? Like, the only thing I've changed is like the timing in which I eat. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah,
So
so I won't eat after 6 p.m. You know, everybody on my YouTube knows, like, yo, I stick to that. So no food after 6.
right.
Everything else doesn't really matter. It's just counting calories. I just make sure, I count every calories in, calories out. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I try to tell people, if you're trying to lose weight, how do you lose weight? You lose weight by calorie deficit. That's it.
Yep.
You could literally lose weight. Okay. You could eat, this is not recommended, but you could eat like donuts, just straight donuts, like Krispy Kreme donuts, as long as you're only eating, let's say, 1,000 calories worth of donuts, and that's all you eat for the whole day, and you had 1,000 calories,
Yeah.
and all you ate was donuts. Technically speaking, you're going to be losing weight. And if you consistently did that, you would lose mad weight. And you could be like, yo, man, all I ate was fucking Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yeah.
People don't understand that. Do I recommend that? Absolutely not.
No, absolutely not.
But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, your body doesn't care what you're eating. Your body cares about how many calories you're putting in your body. That's what I
Right. I mean, so we have a good friend of ours who has a podcast, and she's down in South Carolina. Shout out Emily. I don't know if they're watching this or whatnot, but she has a good podcast, and it's like really food based. You know what I mean? And how food is literally only to be used as fuel.
That's fuel. Yeah, yeah.
And you know what I mean? And as long as your like intake is the right, the right numbers and all that stuff, you know what I mean, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
And she goes into like in depth about like, different types of food and different, just different shit. It's fucking crazy.
Avocado is great. Avocado, healthy fats.
Well, so speaking of avocado, I don't fry anything in regular or in like vegetable oil or canola oil or like that anything anymore. I just do strictly avocado oil.
Yep, avocado oil is great. Yeah, you know, seed oils are not good for you, but I wouldn't get too deep into that hole because at the end of the day, I don't. Yeah, I'm just saying, man.
There has to be some level of enjoyment in life.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
exactly,
you can't.
exactly.
Everything is bad for you. Everything is gonna like.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Everything's gonna be bad for you. People are like, oh, perfect example, Diet Coke. Doesn't that have aspartame? You would have to drink 30 Diet Cokes per day for that aspartame to really start affecting you. And me, I drink maybe one Diet Coke every other couple days, if that. I treat it as a. And first of all, Diet Coke has 0 calories, so technically speaking, just on watching your weight, you're not going to gain weight drinking Diet Coke because it doesn't have any calories. So you're not going to gain any weight drinking Diet Coke.
Right. And that's why people go and get 12 Whoppers and a Diet
Coke.
Yeah,
dude, it's fucked up, bro. It's fucked up. Oh, well, I'm having a Diet Coke, so I'll just eat like 4 Big Macs. It's like,
Yo, yeah, it's crazy. So I kind of wanted, you have a special
timeline.
I mean, yes, but you have a different situation than most people. You know what I mean? And I kind of wanted to get into that. So let's kind of unpack a little bit here.
Yeah.
Let's kind of give the people, who you an intro to Matt and an intro to mainstream. You know what I mean? Like let's let the people know, what you've been through and where you've gone. You know what I mean? Obviously to the extent that you're comfortable, which but yeah, let's kind of get into that.
I mean, really the story really begins, I would say 2020. So I mean, we could start 2020.
Yeah.
So 2020, I was working at Dunkin', right? COVID starts to hit. I remember it was like to the point where when you worked at places like Dunkin', we're talking 2020 here, right?
Yeah.
And we're talking like when COVID was really starting to scare the shit out of people, it got to the point where they were like telling us like, oh, don't even serve people if they're not wearing masks and shit.
That's
and I remember
crazy.
It got crazy. Like me, like I used to sit front counter. They used to get mad at me because like, bro, you ain't paying me enough for that shit, right? So like, if somebody wasn't wearing a mask, I'd still be like, yo, what kind of coffee can I get for you? And then I'll get
right
later. Like, bro, I'm not, the police and shit. I'm not about to fuck. Yo, get the fuck out. No, you know what I mean? So I was just like, well, whatever you want. But it got crazy, man. But basically, when COVID happened, 2021. Now we're talking 2021 here. So I ended up. We're just gonna unfold everything all at once here, okay? So
let's do it.
2021 June, right? I say, I was a heavy drinker most of my life. I think most people know I was a heavy drinker, and I went into this place in Connecticut called Mountainside.
Yeah.
And it was a 43-day program, right?
Oh, shit.
And so I went there in June and I got in there heavy COVID, right? So you went to detox for 5 days. Then you went to these things called the COVID houses. And basically after 5 days of detox, they put you in these small houses, right?
Yeah.
And you're like quarantined from everybody else. So like, You're not
Oh,
near
shit.
nobody. Basically, they want to make sure that 100% you ain't got COVID before
Yeah.
you go into general pop, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
So
I get
then
it.
you get to general pop. So I'm used to like they gave us like a nice queen size bed. These are the COVID houses. They gave us a nice
Right.
queen size bed. We had a 32-inch flat screen. I'm like, oh man, yo, I'm getting sober, yeah. And then all of a sudden you get to general pop. Nah, bro, you're getting a little single bed, okay? And at the time I was fat, so like I'm like
Yeah.
falling out of the bed and shit, fucking no TV, there's no phones, no internet. You can't, there's nothing. You're just in general pop, and the only people you know are the people that are with you in general pop, and that's it. You got nothing. So it was
Shit.
crazy. 43 days of that. And meanwhile, I'm getting sober, but like, yo, my vision was getting mad blurry, and like all of a sudden,
Right.
like I started falling over and shit. And I'm like, this is making no sense because I'm sober, I'm having blurry vision, and I'm
Yeah.
falling over. It's not making sense. You know what I'm
Yeah. No,
saying?
that I get what you're saying.
And so I get out. So 43 days, I get out of the program. Obviously, I pass it flying colors,
Right.
and I'm out. And the first thing I do is I go to an ophthalmologist about my eyes, about my vision.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I go to an ophthalmologist, and she's like, "Oh, what's the problem?" And I'm like, "Yo, everything's blurry." Yo, I had a list. I remember I was on my phone. I said, "Well, I got a list on my phone," and
Yeah.
immediately she kind of like shakes her head, like, "Oh, this motherfucker," you know. And
Of
I'm like,
course.
"Well, this is what's
Of
wrong with
course.
my eyes," and I'm just listing all the things that are wrong with my vision. She
Yeah.
immediately she goes, "You need a brain MRI immediately, like not next month, not what you need a brain MRI immediately," she said.
Yeah.
So right away, I looked at her and I was like, I was freaking out. You know what I mean? Because imagine
Yeah,
like
I mean, when you're
someone's
when you get like told something like that, like the importance, you know what I mean, that's behind it. It's like, yo, what the fuck? Like, what
yeah,
do you mean immediately?
yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking it's just my eyes. I mean, obviously something's got to be wrong. It's got to be more than just my eyes. But the only thing that was really fucked up was my eyes, if that makes sense.
Right.
So I go and I get a brain MRI, and then I get the call, bro. I get the call. I'll never forget. So all of a sudden, phone rings, and they're on the other line, and you get that call. I'll never get a call like this again. This is a one-time call in your life type shit. And
Yeah.
they're like, "Are you alone right now?" Yo, when a doctor's on the phone and a doctor's calling you, and the first thing they say is, "Are you alone right now?" You know shit's about to get real. So
Oh
I was
yeah.
like, obviously I didn't lie, So I was home alone. I'm like, yeah, I'm home alone, and they're like, "Do you have any family or close ones that you can reach out to?" And I said, "Nah, bro, just I'm a fucking grown man. Fucking tell me what's going on, man."
Yeah. Yeah. Facts.
And they're like, "Well, we need to inform you that when we looked at your brain MRI, it seems to us that we can't say 100%, but we can say with very certainty that we believe that you have a rare disease called multiple sclerosis."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh fuck, man." And obviously, I Googled it right away. Like, yo, listen, man, I didn't know what it was.
Of course. You know, I'd be on the Google while I'm on the phone, bro.
All right, yeah, I was. Yeah, yo, go. So I'm looking and I'm like, multiple sclerosis. The first fucking thing that I see is no cure. That's the first thing I see is there's no cure. And the
Yeah.
second thing I see is very rare disease. So I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, bro.
Yeah.
So then they were like, then they had to do their doctor shit. So they were like, you know, am I gonna kill they were worried that I was gonna unalive myself,
Oh
So
shit.
I was like, no, I'm not. So then they were just like, all right, well, have a good day, and basically hung up the phone. So like, have a good day. Well, you have multiple sclerosis. See you later.
Yo, that's fucking nuts,
So
dude.
then it was a long process. So what I ended up having to do is then they have to do final tests to actually prove, that you have multiple sclerosis. And one of the tests is called a spinal tap. I don't
Yeah.
know if you know what that is. You know what
I
that
do.
is?
So I do. It's when they test when they test your spinal fluid and they have to go into your fucking spinal cord, and it's like the
Correct.
most painful fucking thing on the face of the fucking planet, from what I
No joke.
understand.
No joke. Yeah, it's no joke. So yeah, so I did a spinal tap,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was unbelievable because they were like, "Yo, we're gonna literally take fluid from your spine, and your brain is not going to be able to comprehend that you're losing fluid, because you're never supposed to lose fluid from your spine, never.
Right.
You're
Right.
literally taking fluid from your spine. So they're like, what's going to happen is this is going to take about a half an hour to do, but once we take the fluid from your spine, your brain is going to fucking lose it. So you're going to actually have to lay down flat on your back for 1 hour before you can
Yeah.
even physically move. And then we're going to actually help you stand up, and you're going to have the worst headache that you've ever had in your entire life. I was like,
Oh,
all right,
dude,
I'm ready
I
for it.
can't even fucking imagine.
Yeah, nah, but I was ready for it. Like at this point, I wanted to know. I wanted to know,
Well,
So
of
I did
course. I
it.
mean, that's your livelihood. That's your health. That's like literally your future. You know what I'm saying? So like, I would, yeah, I'd be wanting to know everything there was to know about it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, so I got up. They helped me up. Worst headache of my life. They weren't lying. It was unbelievable. It was pain. It was like, uh, it was like the New York Knicks, Madison Square Garden, right behind me, but
Yeah.
in my head, and everybody's like, oh, like
Yeah.
Linsanity. What's good? Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. So much going
Yeah.
on in my head. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So I get home. I sleep the rest of the day. I sleep the whole day off. I find, they hit me back whenever, and they're like, "Yo, you have multiple sclerosis. So now what you have to do is you're gonna have a multiple sclerosis doctor, and then you're gonna have your regular primary doctor." So they had to
Yeah.
find me a multiple sclerosis doctor, and so now basically I just have two doctors. I have just a regular doctor, and then I have a multiple sclerosis doctor.
Yeah.
So when I saw him, I was freaking out, right? And at this time, I probably weighed about 200 pounds. So I was like chubby, but not really fat. But I was at like the 200-pound mark, right?
Yeah.
And when I saw the multiple sclerosis doctor for the first time, he had explained to me basically what's going to happen for my future. And he
Yeah.
was like, "Yo, you're going to be on, I had to sign my life away. You have to sign your life away and shit."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yo, you're going to be on these things called infusions, and you get them 2 times a year. And basically you sit in a chair,
Yeah.
and they hook you up to like an IV for like 8 hours. You're like sitting in a chair for like 8 hours, and they hook you
Damn.
up with like an IV, and it basically like suppresses your immune system. I
Yeah.
always joke with my chat, and I say I'm like the boy in the bubble after that shit. But basically, your immune system is like gone. But
Yeah.
for anybody, that would be a terrible thing. But for someone with multiple sclerosis, your immune system is actually working so goddamn hard that it eats away at your spine and everything, your
Yeah.
brain. So by dumbing down your immune system, it kind of slows down the progress. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. No, you're trying to kind of get ahead of the 8 ball on that. You
Yeah.
know, you're just it's preventative care at this point.
Yeah.
Or preventative progression, I guess. Just trying to slow it down, cuz I mean it's for life. It's going to be something, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's tough. Now initially how that's got to fuck with your head.
Yeah, it did. So basically that was 2021, right? And you got to think like the hardest thing for me was I finally got sober from alcohol. I was just so happy that I was
Yeah.
sober from alcohol, and it was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. I get sober, and then the very next day after getting sober, I go and get a brain MRI and then all this spinal tap and all this shit. And then they're like, yep, you got multiple sclerosis. So to me, I was like at a rock bottom because
Yeah.
now I can't drink alcohol. I just got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. So I'm like not in a good place, man. They're like at that point, I was probably at like the lowest point of my life, right?
Oh, of
And
course.
I didn't even know it, but that's when food was like my new addiction. And man, bro, when I say I was eating, bro, you ever see Fat Joe before when he was
Yeah.
actually Fat Joe?
Yeah.
Okay, your boy was eating, bro. So I had multiple sclerosis. I'm sober. I can't drink away my problems. For me,
Right.
weed was never quite the thing. Like everybody loves weed, and don't get me wrong, weed's great. Go for it, man. I'm not against weed, but for me, weed just makes me paranoid, right? So
Right.
I don't need to be more paranoid than I already am. I don't got to pay money to be more paranoid.
Yeah.
So for me, it was food, man. So I'm just Big Mac. Yo, I would have, no lie, in the morning, I would have McDonald's breakfast. I was probably eating about at least 1,000 calories for breakfast. Then I would have Subway for lunch, at least 1,000 calories. That's 2,000 calories. That's just
Yeah.
lunch. Then I'm having a snack. Who knows? Little Debbie's. We'll add 300 calories for that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Then dinner, I would have a big dinner. Who knows what I would have for dinner, but that would usually be my largest meal. So let's add another 1,500 calories to that. So you're looking at
you're at about almost at 4,000 calories there.
calories a day, and I was eating
day.
that daily. Like,
And I assume at the time not doing much in the way of exercising, correct?
no exercise at all.
Yeah. Yeah. So like all that was just compounding.
Yo, I laugh at it now because now I understand health is wealth, and it is. But
Yeah.
at the time, think about it. I was down and out. I had just gotten sober, just got hit with multiple sclerosis. On
Yeah.
top of that, I quit smoking cigarettes. And if you
Oh,
guys don't know
man.
about cigarettes,
That's
9 out of 10 people that quit smoking cigarettes immediately gain weight when they quit smoking cigarettes.
Yo, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
It's rough. But
what was your cigarette of choice? Mine was either Marbs or Newports, bro. It was one.
I was at all right. So unfortunately, I'm like back on the wagon there. You know what I mean? But currently it's Marv Menthols. But before it was Newport hundreds, and I was smoking like a pack and a half of them a day.
Yeah, I was smoking a pack of cigarettes a day, about a pack a day.
I was flying through that. Like Newport should have been paying me. You know what I mean?
Nah, I feel you, man.
But
And
I mean,
you said Newport 100, so I know
Yeah.
that you're in it for the long run, man. On the 100, I feel like
Yeah.
they'd be burning forever.
oh my God, they do.
Yo, you're making me now I'm reminiscing, but the one thing I miss about cigarettes the most is just that feeling. You have your 2 fingers and you're just
Yeah.
puffing like this,
Yeah.
especially like right now, we're just being social. A cigarette right now would just make life so much better, bro.
Oh
Really.
God, yeah, no kidding. But yeah, it's wild. I was I want to say like 145 or 150 when I quit smoking cigarettes the first time.
Yeah.
And then at my heaviest, which was probably August, I was 200 and almost 240 pounds.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not a big guy, you know what I mean? I'm 5'10" on a good day, you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I already had I have dog shit knees, dude. My knees are fucking shot. You know what I mean? And you got this like I was built like Gru from the Minions.
Yeah.
It's like all up top, and then I got these little chicken legs, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
it made playing softball really uncomfortable. I had to go everywhere with a knee brace, like, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm still gonna have to, but like it doesn't hurt nearly as much now. I mean, I'm down to 206 at my last doctor's appointment. So like I'm getting there, you know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
want to be like 150 again, but like I'll settle for a healthy 175. You know what I mean?
Yo,
But
you get to 175, I'm telling you, once you get there, maintaining the weight, in my opinion, is the easiest. I would say if you do get there though, man, one of the things you should invest in, get a scale, man. Weigh yourself on a
Yeah.
daily basis, man. Some people say don't do it. Some people say do it. The reason why I say do it is because then you know what you are, and if you start gaining weight, you can see it right away and be like, "Oh fuck, I'm gaining weight. I better chill the fuck out."
Yeah. 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 I mean, I've not necessarily, I've not cleaned up what I'm eating, but just how it gets made. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So like
yeah,
I still eat the same shit that I used
yeah.
to eat, but
But you eat
I
grilled instead of fried, right?
no,
Am
no, I
I
just
right?
fry that. No, I just fry that shit in fucking avocado oil and then,
Or that, yeah,
I just turn a blind eye to it.
yeah.
Um, but I mean, you know what I mean? Like I do things a lot cleaner. I grind my own beef, you know what I mean? I make my own ground beef, I make my own ground pork. Any like meatballs and all that kind of stuff, that like heavy Italian food that really fills you up.
Yo,
Everything that
Italian
I
food is so good, by the way. It
It
is.
is, it is. But like, and I make my own pasta, like I make my own meatballs, I make my own sauce. So like I control what goes in it as much as I can, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So like I still eat, but I do it in a different way.
yeah.
And I've noticed that like now, I mean, I take leftovers to work now. I mean, I never used to do that, but I do that now. And I mean, w- it just tastes so much better when it's a leftover and it's like clean,
I
like
feel you. I feel you.
like for instance, last night I made chicken and broccoli, teriyaki chicken and broccoli over white rice. And
Nice,
dude,
nice,
fucking dude, today it was absolutely slamming. You know what I mean?
nice.
Like and it's so good, and it like it makes me feel better and not like having to call up Wendy's or go up to fucking Popeyes or you know what I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
or do any of that shit. So like I get it. And like I'm watching your posts and watching you do it, that like kind of gave me that little kick in the ass that I needed, cuz like I was following your progress, you know what I mean? Like I was
Yeah.
commenting on the stuff, and I watched it, and saw I saw who you were, like, previous pre 2020, you know what I'm saying? So like I've watched all of that, and
Yeah.
like I mean I got to say it's pretty dope to see you overcome, you know what I mean, all of the like the hurdles and the
Yo,
mountains.
sober since 2021, quit cigarettes in 2021, diagnosed with MS in 2021. I mean, yo, literally fucking life changing shit, man. Life changing shit.
Yeah,
But yeah, I will say, man, the fucking for a while, 2021 for me was tough. Even 2022 was tough because the only escape that I really had was food at the time,
yeah,
and I never had a problem with food, but when you put down the booze and you put down the cigarettes
yep.
and weed's not an option, and obviously I can't start popping pills or something, right? Like I wanted to be sober,
Right.
so here I am, and that's what's crazy is a lot of people don't consider food like I'm not saying I don't know what I'm classifying food as, but like people don't classify food as like, oh, that's an addiction, but it kind of is. It kind of is because a lot of people never have a problem with alcohol or never have a problem with drugs, but they damn sure have a problem with stopping putting 10 Big Macs in their mouth. You know what I mean? So
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's you said it, I mean, health is wealth, you know what I mean? So like taking care of yourself, not only in the physical, but like taking care of yourself like mentally, and all of that shit ties in together. I mean, when you're thinking like shit and you're like and you've got yourself stuck in such a negative rut, which I mean, up until recently I found myself in, you know what I mean? I was on autopilot for months, dude.
yeah.
Um and you know what I mean, I'm back in the search for a therapist. I'm just trying to get my mental right, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like when you can't
Yo,
even
I'm glad you
fucking
said therapist because there ain't no shame in that shit either, man.
there's
Not
not
at all,
not at all. I'm a firm believer in it. And for a minute there, I wasn't practicing what I was preaching. You know what I mean? It almost felt hypocritical. Like I'm not even gonna lie, I spiraled the other day, and like I was convinced that I was just gonna cancel the show in its entirety. Um, you know what I mean? I'm like, dude, I'm
Hey man,
not.
I was excited to be on you. I was excited to be on your show. I hit up JP and I was like, yo, man, you won't believe who I'm like, I'm kind of high. And I hit up wifey
Yeah,
on YouTube. We call her Boston. I hit up Boston. I was like, yo, fucking blah blah blah. And like, yo, I was kind of hyped, man. Like I
yeah. I
think
mean,
you're doing a cool thing, man. And you already know, like streaming now is like my life.
yeah,
I'm monetized. If you ever want to fucking sit down, I'd love to show you some ropes, especially OBS. If you learn how to use OBS, like I'm saying, if you ever want to do stuff even besides what you're doing, or if you want to do
yeah.
like streaming, or I don't know if you still, I don't even think you play video games like that anymore. But if you
My
did,
my PS5 is sitting in the corner of my room collecting dust.
oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that I've been like looking back on and like trying to get back into. Like I got a show coming up on April 19th.
Yeah.
And I'm opening up for with my boy Spark for Locksmith, he's that rapper who like freestyles and lifts and shit and like Ubers.
Oh, okay,
Um
okay.
yeah, so we're opening up for him, and like I went up to Spark's house the other day for a practice, and like
Now is
man,
that
that
the dude that you just shoot a music video? I shared it on my
no,
Facebook.
that was Zip.
Oh, he's
That was
fire. Yo, I
yo,
shared
he's
it.
yeah,
First of all, your video was so dope, but he's fired too. So you had like your dope video mixed with his dope lyrics and everything. I was like, yo, I proudly shared that shit. I'm like, yo, let's get those numbers up. You know what I mean?
yeah, bro. There's gonna be a lot of work happening this spring and this summer. Like I kind of I love photography, don't get me wrong. I love taking pictures. There's nothing better than just like setting up a really sweet shot, right? But the more I dabble in videos and the more that I dabble in like in making like moving art, it's like fuck, man. That's I really want to like get into like doing what Spielberg was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
shooting crazy ass music videos. And I mean, this camera that I have is absolutely insane, dude. It's insanity.
Bro, I love that you did like it was like a vertical video, so it was like meant for phones. And I love that you did that. Now I'm assuming you did that on purpose, right?
Oh
You
yeah.
purpose did it
Yep.
for like a phone.
Oh
And the
yeah.
reason why I love that is because everybody is on their phone anyway. So
Yeah.
like I actually have two streaming setups. So I have this setup here, right? This is like my baby, but I have a setup upstairs in my living room. And the way that I have that set up, I have it set up for vertical streaming.
Yeah.
So when I do vertical streams, it's much easier on the phone. You can just boop, 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 whatever. And then when I'm down here, this is like my baby. But when I'm
Yeah.
down here, I do the horizontal streams. It's
Yeah.
more of like you know, if I'm down here, it means I'm doing business, baby.
Right. Yeah, I mean, so when we actually shoot the real video, it's gonna be YouTube format, it's gonna be
Yeah,
horizontal,
horizontal. Yeah.
but I mean, I'm just so I literally I can't wait because like I already know that just that little teaser and that was literally just something that we filmed on my road, you know what I'm saying? Like
I bet you that you filmed that in about 1 hour, huh?
dude, it was not even. It was 20 minutes of filming.
Yeah.
We
Because
got
how many times did he have to rap the song? Probably three different times,
3
right?
times
Yeah.
because we
So he
had we
rapped
had
the song.
the shot where he was walking away from his car, and then
Yep. Away from the
we had the
car.
shot where he was walking back to his car, and then
Yep.
we have the shot of him actually in his car.
You're giving me flashbacks, man.
Yo,
Yo,
it
bro.
was it was so
We could,
sick,
yo.
dude.
What I can say is, yeah. When I was in my rapper days myself, I remember working with Spielberg.
Yeah.
And Spielberg, big shout out to Spielberg, man. I still talk to him on a daily basis. Um, yo, he was one of the realest dudes because
Yeah.
we're talking like 2011, 2012 when I first met him. And back at that time, life was a lot different in 2011, 2012, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No kidding.
there was no such thing as
That's
vertical or
actually
anything.
when I first met you.
Was it?
Was like 2013, I think. Maybe it was like no, it might have been like 2014, like just before my daughter was born.
Okay.
Is when I first met you. You had come over to my house. John
Oh
had brought
yeah,
John had
I
yeah,
think we were all freestyling,
we
bro.
were for like 3 hours.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going on like 12, 13 years here.
That's crazy, yo.
Crazy,
Time
right?
fucking flies, bro.
It flies, dude. It's nuts.
Bro,
Um,
me and JP in 2010. It was 2010. JP had just got back home. I said, "Yo, you need a place to stay?" And he was like, "Yeah." We was out in Saybrook, right?
yeah.
And we recorded a whole mixtape, man, over the summer. Recorded a mixtape over the summer. I remember it like it was yesterday. And you gotta remember, like, technology back then was way different, but I was
Yeah.
still like a nerd, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I had I had this ghetto ass PC on the ground with its own like monitor, but then
Yeah.
I also had, at the time, it was a very good iMac, but the iMac was the computer itself. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Like,
Yeah. 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 The computer
so
was built into the screen.
yeah. So the
Yeah.
iMac's here, and then we
Yeah.
had the other PC, the monitor PC was right next to it. And
Yep.
then we had the mic in the corner, and I had all those black soundproof squares.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
bro,
Yep.
yo, we came out with the whole mixtape in the summer. That shit was fire, son.
That's
6:30 the mixtape. We called it 6:30 the mixtape because we'd be drinking, right? And it would be 6:30 in the morning, and
yeah.
I'd be looking at JP. We'd both be up. We'd be like, "Yo, you trying to make this track real quick? All right, let's do it." 6:30 in the morning, rapping our fucking asses off at 6:30 in the
Yo,
morning, bro.
that's sick. Yeah, I've been really contemplating getting back into into music. You know, Zip actually posted something on Facebook the other night that was absolute insanity, dude. He posted like some car bars, you know what I mean? 10 p.m. car bars type shit.
Yeah,
And yo, every bar was just shot after shot after shot after shot after shot. You know what I mean? It was crazy. And I was like, damn, bro, like, all right, you know what? I'm done messing around. I need you to like send me a beat, send me either a beat or something you got a free verse on, and like it's time to get shit bumping. You know what I mean? So like I might drop me a little mixtape, maybe a little album, you know what I mean? Just to say
yeah,
that I did it, put it out there, get it done, and then you know what I mean? Then I might close that chapter in the music scene because I'll still be on the videos and all that shit, but like
yeah.
I gotta do it one time for the one time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You got it.
It's
I
time.
had I had a bunch of mixtapes done. I would say my favorite solo project I ever did was called the Comeback Mixtape, and that was about 2010, maybe 2011, a little mixture of 2 years. And it
Yeah.
was like 16 to 20 tracks. And the
Damn.
Comeback Mixtape, I mean, I have it obviously, but I would say back then, I would have put that up. I would still put that mixtape up against 90% of the new. The thing is that music now is it changes through the times.
Of
So
course.
if you
Yeah.
listen to my mixtape from 2010, it's absolutely outdated, 100%, because nobody raps like that anymore. It's
Right.
outdated as fuck. Like if I played my 2010 mixtape for some new kids out right now,
Oh,
they'd be
you
like, "Yo,
get
this shit
clown. Yo,
sounds like my
they would cook.
grandfather," you know?
Yo, they would cook the fuck out of you. Yo.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I ended my rap chapter. I'd say 2014 was really the end of my rap chapter days.
I mean, hold on now. Like you still post some like crazy. You
I'll
still
post
post
some
some crazy.
bars, yo. Every once in a while, I'll post some bars, man. But as far as like actually recording something or
I don't
doing
know,
anything
man.
with it,
We
I write
might
bars. I got bars, man. I'll write some bars.
we we might have to just do it one time. You know what I mean? Just dust the cobwebs off. Give me the best shit you have, and fucking we'll put it on a track, shoot a video to it, and call it a day.
I might be down for that. That might be some good content, man. You know
Yo,
I'm heavy on YouTube now, man.
we could.
I just actually had the biggest stream of this year this morning. We ended up hitting 1.6 thousand views in the first hour.
Oh shit.
1.6 thousand the first hour. I think I ended up getting like, what am I at now? I'll tell you. Hold on, let me tell you because I don't want to say any false facts here.
Yo,
So,
we gotta call that mixtape MS the mixtape.
12,242 subs right now.
Shit, dude.
12,242. What did
I
you say?
had
We got to call MS the mixtape.
yeah.
No, mainstream is MS too. If you
Yeah.
think about it.
That's it. It all works. It's too perfect not to.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Yo, I always look at my time to see what time it is, and it's always this time. Just so you know, I'm not fronting. What is my what? Oh, it just
It
turned off.
says nine. Yeah, it says, I looked at the top of the corner of my screen. It says 9/11.
How diabolical is that? And then another time where I always look at my phone, it'll be 4:20. So it's either 4:20 or 9:11 when I look like, oh, let's see what time it is. Oh, it's 4:20.
We love that though.
We love that. We love that.
We love it.
What else? What
That's
else
better.
is going on? I don't know, man. I was just, I was hyped. Yo. I think you're doing great, man. I honestly never give up, man. That's one thing I could say because there was so many times I was ready to say fuck YouTube, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I have people that are like, yo, man, like actually the other day I had a hater. I get haters all the time too, but I had a hater and he was like, yo, only have 30 people in the chat or something. And right after someone said that, a person below him goes, bro, I stream and it's a miracle if I get more than 5 people watching me and you're making fun of him because he has 30 people. And I'm like,
Yo.
yo, there's levels to this shit. And honestly, like the way that I look at it is like, yo, 30 people is all right. Today I think I had like 60 people at all times, but like, you're not gonna be like people that hate, like probably never ever did YouTube or TikTok a day in their life, and they have no idea how that shit works.
Right. I mean, I average less than less than 10 views per stream on YouTube. But I mean on Facebook when I was able to go live because I can't do that for the next month.
You got
Uh
banned or something?
yo, they took somebody had made a post and was like, "Oh, when did you first touch your first $10,000?" And I was like, I mean, like, not gonna. I mean, I was like 17. I was homeless. I was selling drugs, and I was like, doing dumb shit just to
Yeah.
make it shake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I I didn't think twice about it, and I hit post, and then they're like, "Oh, your that content was removed. You can't you can't do a live video for 30 days. You can't join or create calls or." Anything like that for 30 days. I'm like, yo, y'all got me by the balls, dude. That's crazy. That was my first fuck up.
Yeah.
One time. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. And then they suspended all my monetization and shit. Like I'm not making nothing on Facebook right now. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Cause like, I mean, it was little money, but like I was making, $35, $40 a month off Facebook. You know what I mean? Just doing what I
Yeah.
would normally do anyways.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? But yeah, no, that's kaput, and it's made me very sad in the mental health department.
I feel
I'm not gonna lie, because like, yo, I fucked up one time. Okay. One time in the
another thing you'll learn, man. You'll like me, like I learned how to be, what do they call it? Media trained or whatever. So like, yo, obviously you never drop no F bombs. You never bring up politics. You never bring up
Right.
racism, anything like that. Like you just know, like you don't bring it up. You don't bring it up. I mean, for me, whatever you
Right.
want to do, but I'm just telling you, like these are things that eventually you'll learn as you grow your channel. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I would ultimately like to kind of segue more over to the YouTube kind of side of things.
YouTube is great. Come join the YouTube family, man.
I mean, obviously, like I'll keep the Facebook Live and stuff because I get more traffic and more stuff over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On an average night, I mean, I'll end up with like, 500, 600 views and something like 100 and plus comments. You know what I mean? So like, there's a lot of engagement, there's a lot of interaction. Um, but like, I mean, the comment section is absolutely dead right now because everybody's expecting me to be on Facebook and I'm not there. And I'm here. So like, it's a blow for sure. But on the plus side, June is men's mental health month. So I won't be banned for that, which means things will be just fine as long as I keep my stupid mouth shut.
There you go. There you go. It's crazy as it's like you're it's like you're walking on eggshells a lot of times, especially on social media. You got to kind of learn how to walk on eggshells for sure.
Yeah. Normally I'm like very cognizant and I'm aware of what I'm saying. And I just like wasn't that morning. I went bloop, 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 hit send, and I was like, yeah, thought nothing of it. And then fucking an hour later, I go back on Facebook and it's like all the fucking yellow triangles all down my notification feed. I'm like, yo, calm down.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
Yo, I was thinking about doing a public Facebook and doing the content on that shit, but then I was just like, man, I I put too much time and effort into YouTube, and I try to do a TikTok, and like it was kind of doing some numbers, but
Yeah.
TikTok is basically all just only short form videos. So I guess I could just take all my short form videos from YouTube and just copy and paste, put them onto my TikTok.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I do so much on YouTube now. It's just like it's very hard for me to do any other platform pretty much.
Yeah. I get it. I mean, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to like remake a Facebook profile for the podcast that's not like directly attached to mine. You know what I mean? Like a separate fucking login, like an actual page for it, so that way I can just go live there and then just build it from there. You know what I'm saying? I'll end up being able to get like monetized on that front and on that side of things, and all the like clips and all that stuff can just go, right there, schedule them a week out and just let them fucking go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. So I mean, I gotta what we we kind of got like sidetracked,
Yeah.
and then super sidetracked. But I mean, we've got a few minutes left here, and I kind of wanted to like touch on like what you've been doing to like prioritize your mental health and your mental stability, like especially when you're going through like the MS and getting sober, and like because that all of that plays a huge bearing and a huge like potentially negative bearing on your mental health. You know what I'm saying? So like, how did you combat that, and like how do you combat that today and to continue to be great?
Well, that's good. That's a good question. So honestly, about a year and a half ago was when I made like a super change. So a year and a half ago, I said I need to make a change in my life. That's when I really realized health is wealth, right? I was 260 plus pounds.
Yeah.
Let's just say I was 260. And honestly, it took a lot of people on YouTube calling me fat. I'm not gonna lie, man. A lot of people on YouTube were like, "Yo, you fat fuck," and I was just getting tired of it. You know what I mean? So I was like, I knew I had to do something, and I started watching this shit about intermittent fasting, right? And I found out too. Not only does intermittent fasting help you lose weight, but it can help you with an autoimmune disease, and multiple sclerosis is an autoimmune disease. So,
Right.
I started just doing my homework on intermittent fasting. Like, what do I have to do? And now everybody, asks me like, what do I do? How did I do it? So I'm going to explain real quick because it's real simple what I ended up doing. And I was streaming every day like I am today. So everyone that was watched me lose the weight like each day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with me, what I had to do was about a year and a half ago is when I made the change, and you can't just go into fasting, right? So you have to kind of like baby step your way. So
Right.
you start off with like I think it's called a 16 and 8 or whatever. So what I did was I only actually ate between 12 and 6 p.m. So I never ate after 6 p.m. I don't even remember the last time I ate after 6. But I started for a whole week where the only time I ate food was between 12 and 6. Then I did a 24-hour fast. So I would eat food, say at 5:30 p.m., and then I wouldn't eat until the next day at
Yeah.
5:30. So that's 24 hours.
Yeah.
So I would do that for like maybe like a couple weeks. And then once you're ready to go, that's when I started doing like the 48-hour fast. And that's when
Yeah.
shit gets pretty fucking real. And you got to remember, I was still streaming every day. So I did my first 48 hours fast, and I was scared, and so what I did was I picked Fridays to not eat. So everybody loved Fridays. I hated Fridays. I was like, fuck Fridays.
Yeah.
So because I would know on Friday I'm having 0 calories, and the only thing that you can have is water, green iced tea with no sugar, of course,
Right.
and black iced coffee, no dairy. You can't have nothing with calories and no sugar,
Right.
no carbs. So black iced coffee, green iced tea, and water. That's all you could have. And so I would eat on let's say I would eat on Thursday at 5 p.m. and then I would start my fast at 5 p.m. on Thursday. Then I wouldn't eat at all on Friday, but don't forget that I would still be doing like a 4 or 5 hour stream. So it would
Yeah.
be Friday. I started this thing where we used to call it the no calorie Fridays. And every time it was Friday, people in my chat, would be like, yo, man, I'm eating this crazy steak right now with mashed potatoes. Like, yo, you fucking asshole.
Yeah. So
But
now, like, how difficult is that to do, like, mentally? Like, what
at
what
first
did
it's hard because your brain does anything in its power to tell you, yo, you need food, yo, you need food. So you have to
Yeah.
have your other side of your brain be like, well, you ain't getting no food, and you have to
Right.
stay busy. I think the main thing that helped me stay busy, besides the streaming,
Yeah.
was I made sure I exercise, and that's something that I wasn't doing. I wasn't exercising until about a year and a half ago. So a year and a half ago, I started intermittent fasting, and a
Yeah.
year and a half ago, I started to do serious like cardio, whatever I had to do,
Yeah.
and that would keep me busy because you get like a natural high. They call it a runner's high,
Yeah.
but it's a real thing, man. And if you're really fucking out there, you're fucking at least jogging 2 miles in the morning. I was doing 2 miles at night. You know, you feel good, like you get like a runner's high. You're like, yeah, but it keeps your
Yeah.
mind off the fact that you ain't eating no tacos. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. Now, have you noticed, like, when you have to go when you're like with dealing with the MS, um have you noticed like a slowdown in the progression once you started prioritizing like your physical health and like the what you
yeah, well,
intake?
way less flare ups. So with MS, you
Okay.
get these random flare ups,
Yeah.
and so like they can happen at any time. So I could be like talking to you right now, right? And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, bam, I get hit with a flare up, and then there's gonna be like all these dots in my vision. My vision's gonna be all fucked up, and I'm gonna be all like, whoa. But that doesn't. I mean, it's very rare that happens. But now it happens even more rare because when I lost the weight, it's like the flare up. Let's say I would get one flare up per week.
Yeah.
Once I lost the weight, now I get like one flare up maybe every 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay. So there's an improvement there. And that
absolutely.
and that's gotta I feel like that's gotta be relieving on the like the exhaustion, like mentally, like the mental exhaustion that all of that puts on you, you know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah.
not having to deal with those flare-ups, every week or whatever the
Well,
case
yeah,
may
and
be.
when I weighed 260, when I was at my highest, I was getting flare ups like every other like 2 days, man. Like
Yeah.
bad flare ups. Like I would be at a grocery store, and all of a sudden flare up happens in the middle of like aisle 9, bro. And I'd be like, you gotta be fucking kidding. And there's nothing you can do. So I mean, one time I was with Boston, and we were at Stop and Shop, and literally I got such a bad flare up. I had to go to the stop, and Stop and Shop has the grimiest bathrooms, dude.
Yeah. Ugh.
And I had such a bad flare up that I was spinning so bad that I had to throw up, and I had to go in a nasty ass Stop and Shop bathroom. Rest in
Damn.
peace to that bathroom, and I just fucking puked all in that toilet.
That's
But
crazy. RIP to the
that's how
bathroom.
bad they can be. They can make you so like you almost feel seasick almost. Like
Yeah.
it's an unbelievable feeling. But when I lost the weight, those went away. Like sure they can come back here and there, but very less frequently, and it's certainly helped a lot that I lost the weight.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I can only imagine. Yeah, dude. I mean, that seems like a lot to overcome and battle through over the course of, what is it, 5 years? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's insane. So like kudos for you. Kudos to you for like continuing to like do what you not even what's bare minimum from the doctors, but like going above and beyond and like, prioritizing yourself and like and longevity. You know what I mean? Like that's that's dope. That's huge. So congrats and like I'm fucking proud of you. I love watching the progress. You know what I mean? Watching you do your thing and it's super dope. So keep on doing what you're doing because obviously it's working. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I appreciate it, man.
Fucking killing it, dude. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely, dude. Well, we're getting close to that time. So every let me turn this down. Every episode I try to anyways.
You're lagging out a bit. You're lagging out a bit.
Am I?
There you go. You're good now. You're good.
Okay. I try to end the episode if there's one piece of advice that you can give to somebody that like is going through whether it be physical problems or in addition to the mental health issue, like what advice do you have for somebody that might be struggling with their their weight loss journey or whatever the case may be?
I mean, my advice is honestly never give up, man. Kind of like what I was saying about your grind, man. Never give up, man, and never let like negative people bring you down because
Yeah.
the perfect example was that dude that was like, "Oh, you're happy that you have 30 or 40 people in your chat," and I was happy, right? But he was trying to bring me down, and right after that guy tried to bring me down, someone said, bro, I'm lucky if I get 5 or 10 people in my chat. If I had what mainstream 2K had with 30 or 40 people, that would be a miracle. So
Hell
you
yeah.
gotta always look at like the positive and try not to let the negative bring you down. And as far as intermittent fasting is concerned, like I think that intermittent fasting can do wonders for anyone. And I always tell anyone, if you guys ever want to reach out or whatever, like I think intermittent fasting is single-handedly some of the best things for your mind, body, and soul, man. Honestly.
Hell yeah. Dude, it's been a pleasure having you, man. I really appreciate you taking the time to come kick it with me and kind of talk about your story and what you've been through. So we definitely have to do this again. We have to link up and do some music soon.
All right, man. Yeah, I'm down. I'm down.
Hell yeah, dude. You have a listen, I appreciate you again. You have a great rest of your night. I'll hit you up at some point. We'll schedule you for another comeback and maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it right here. You know what I mean?
I'm down. I'm down.
All right, brother. Hey, have a good night, man.
All right, man. Have a good night.
All right, all right. So my guy mainstream kicked it with us and talked about his struggles with having multiple sclerosis and getting sober and quitting cigarettes and doing all that kind of stuff at one point in one junction of his life was is huge. And I commend anybody that, like, you know, can even tolerate something like that. Let's see. I don't even know who we have. I don't think we have. Oh, you know what? We have Shiraz coming back next week, next Monday. He'll probably be here again. I don't know, maybe not. I'm not entirely sure. But it's your boy Troy. This is the Mental Health Podcast. Catch us here live on YouTube, not Facebook, for the next 4 weeks. Same time, 8:30 p.m. next Monday with your boy Booty Patrol. Yeah, if you know, you know. Peace.